on Capitol Hill. Had a travel debacle this weekend. Had a bachelor party in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Some unfortunate travel issues and errors. A weird flight time. Had to stay overnight. Ultimately, as you guys saw on the Sunday evening, so we did a stream Sunday evening at the Knoxville airport. But we are here back today. It is Tuesday. We're going to be live on Capitol Hill a little bit. We'll be talking to some people and taking your questions throughout the day. I don't believe the House is in session today, so we are going to be primarily dealing with the Senate. That's our main group today. Main topic today is we're going to be talking about the peace agreement, the alleged peace agreement between the United States and Iran. So some big developments there. That's what we're going to be asking senators if we pop into any of them today. All right, guys. Parker, good morning, Parker. Thank you for the birthday wish. Appreciate it, big man. Dirty money. Yeah, didn't get strippers. Not this time. Not this time. Spartacus says, good morning, Aulden. Happy birthday. Appreciate you, big man. Nice to see you once again. And Benjamin Garcia, big man, is saying good morning to you, Benjamin. Happy Tuesday. Parker says BB is going to get pissed off at Donald Trump. I think he already is. Yeah, and I think Trump's pretty pissed at him. I think the feelings are mutual between the two heads of state in the United States and Israel, respectively. Okay, let's see. Should Dirty says, should send a stripper. Party's over. I don't think people would be opposed to it. Just party's over right now. But okay, everybody. So we're going to be live on Capitol Hill today. Before we really hop into the thick of things, make sure you hit that like button, leave the video and live a like. You'll definitely want to do that to help support the show. What we got? Whoa, you have John Thune here, Senate Majority Leader. I've never seen him before. That's pretty cool. Darn. Wow. That might be Barrasso next to him. I'm not sure, but that is Senator Thune of South Dakota up there. The Senate Majority Leader, longtime senator from South Dakota. There we go, dirty money. Yeah, dude, that's the spirit. Okay, but yeah, make sure to also, if you're new to the stream, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Today, big day. Yeah, we're here going to be live on the Hill for a little bit. We'll be trying to talk to a couple members. Maybe John Thune will come back down here. But we do have Senate Majority Leader John Thune upstairs currently. Maybe some other senators will be popping in and out here that we can talk to. The House is out of session today. Get Thune just one side, so nothing there. But yeah, I believe the House got the whole week off because of Juneteenth. So they're not even in Washington right now. But the Senate is. The Senate's leaving early this week. I know that. But at least they're in a little bit. Put King says, hello, Aulden. What's going on, man? Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Does the audio sound a little better to you guys? I got a little microphone now, so the audio should be a lot better, and I can always clip it off if we see a member or someone we want to interview on the stream. Can quickly and easily access that. Um, yeah, um, yeah. The House, they're gone all week for Juneteenth. Juneteenth is Friday. It is now a federal holiday, the newest federal holiday. Um, I think it's only the third or fourth one. Um, since I think it under Joe Biden is when it became a holiday. Poppy says, "You show the reflection pool." I'm not sure if we'll make it all the way down there today, um, but we will get down to the reflecting pool at some point. Yeah, no question about it there. We're just like a mile and a half or so, if not further away right now. But so we're outside of the Russell Senate building. So that, as we mentioned, the Senate's in session. So we'll probably be spending most of our time on the Senate side today, and on the Senate side of the Capitol complex as well. We just saw Senator John Thune. Um, wasn't really close enough to talk to him, but we were able to see what he was up to. Yeah, he was kind of chilling at the top of the Senate steps. Yeah, we have a microphone, so we'll be able to talk with members today and get better audio. I know that's been a problem in some of the interviews. It's just inaccessible when it comes to hearing the member. So, but we're going to be here today asking them about the peace agreement in Iran. What do you guys think about the peace agreement, the alleged, or maybe still formulating a peace agreement? We have heard that the memorandum of understanding was signed virtually. Um, was signed virtually on Sunday. Pakistan was a big mediator between the two countries and their negotiations. We actually did a whole desktop episode on Pakistan's history and their efforts and this mediating agreement for this cycle around. Um, and we do. So, at least as of right now, Pakistan, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, was confident enough to release the tweet on Sunday saying that there was a peace agreement uh, reached and connected um, between the United States and Iran. We also know, or at least we're hearing from the United States side, that the Strait of Hormuz will be reopening. It will reopen fully. Um, JD Vance has been a messenger on some of the Sunday morning talk shows and other uh, regime media. Uh, for example, he's been on making his rounds discussing some of the details or what he and the administration expect Iran to be doing. Uh, JD Vance and the admin, including the president, have signaled that Iran will never be able to build or achieve the nuclear weapon or fully construct it. Um, but we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen any details in the MOU that has um, maybe confirmed that. It's still a he said, said kind of deal, which is, again, when I first saw this on Sunday, my immediate reaction was just a little bit of confusion, um, because there's three countries involved, and it seemed like the U.S. is just kind of, yeah, Trump is either tired of it. It could be the politics of it are not working out. Maybe um, I bet he was thinking that regime was just going to roll over after the initial regime decapitation strikes against the supreme leader and other top Revolutionary Guard personnel. And that didn't happen. As of right now, the Iranian regime is still intact. It has not changed. The Basij is still the internal security force for the regime. The Revolutionary Guard still calls the shots. And even though the supreme leader is gone, the supreme leader's son, uh, Mojave Khamenei, is at the helm. Allegedly, like, we haven't seen him. He hasn't made a public appearance up to this point, at least. Maybe they're keeping him hidden uh, just for security reasons. But still, like, the president of Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian, he's still alive. The foreign minister, um, the speaker of their parliament. So lots of players within the regime are still alive as well. Um, so even though the supreme leader was out of the picture, there are still figures within the regime that prevented it from collapsing. And ultimately, I'd say the main takeaway is that what the United States basically got is, okay, let's go back to what it was like pre-war. So you reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and then we'll pick a date to start talking about nuclear. That's basically what I think um, was achieved by this. And whereas I think someone said, talking about how is this any better than the JCPOA, and I think that's honestly kind of fair. Um, how is this going to be any different from that? So I really don't know what, um, what was achieved by this. We'll have to see what the admin says. We'll have to see the details of the MOU here in the next couple of days. But right now, we really don't know. Let's get to some comments. Yo, dude, what's going on, KG Sled? Ball Knowledge says WPs. Yeah, that's what we want. Holden, you're being a little goofy there today. Sam says, hi, old man. KG Sled says, the deal is not going to work. Dude, trust me. Hopefully it does. I think U.S. doesn't really want this to continue, especially with midterms coming up. I think with it being summer, we always know people tend to travel more in the summer for leisure and vacations and whatever. So I think the admin wants gas prices to be as low as possible, particularly in these hot summer months. So the strategic uh, being so those assets are not continuously being utilized. Um, Cross says, how's it any different from the JCPOA? Right, yeah, like right now we don't really know. So I think that's fair, yeah, because the regime has not collapsed. The proxies are still, remnants of the proxies are still it's significant enough to where they just can't be rolled over either. Um, we hear from the admin that the nuclear program is totally wiped out and destroyed, um, but they're still concerned that the Iranians could rebuild or reconstitute the program, or what's going to happen to the highly enriched uranium buried under the rubble in Isfahan. Nobody really seems to know. And I really think the reason that regime change in Iran potentially got a little, obviously Trump said the night we attacked Iran that regime change was the goal. Um, but let's say the regime fell. If you don't have the replacement regime in there, it makes questions like who gets their hands on that uranium in Isfahan a much bigger question. Um, because what if an insurgent group, uh, seizes it? Who knows who they could give that to, or what happens to all of the nuclear centrifuges that are um, still intact or not totally destroyed? Like, what if a even more hardline group than the Revolutionary Guard takes power, and the U.S. can't stop it, or whatever? So I think there were a lot of concerns with regime change happening in Iran that the United States had as well. Um, Fred's Lady says, "Happy birthday, Aulden." Thank you very much. Yeah, everybody. Not wanting to necessarily toot my own horn, but I made it to my late 20s today officially. Made it to 27 years old. So show me some love. Leave me a birthday super chat. Support the show. Love have your support. Subscribe for me for my birthday. Leave the video like for my birthday. Join my Discord for my birthday. All that good stuff. Would love to have you guys there. Thank you for the support you guys have already shown, the love you've already shown me. I really appreciate it already. Oh yeah, like, and if you want me, if don't take it from me about regime change that happening in Iran. Look at what Mark Levin is saying. Look at what Laura Loomer is saying. Ben Shapiro, for example. Uh, they're not happy campers right now, to say the least. Um, they know regime change didn't occur. Um, so it's not just me saying, yeah, just look at the supporters of regime change. They're not happy with what has happened either. So keep that in mind. Let's see. The Colonel says, yeah, the Colonel, correct. Yeah, they're not happy campers by any means at all. It's a good point. David Thompson says the IRGC must be completely eliminated to protect the Iranian people. Well, the problem is with that, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of personnel. Um, I think that's also something else. And something else, if you guys remember me going to the Iranian diaspora protest back before the war began, back in January and early to mid-February, what was one of the problems that the diaspora had is that they were all opposed to the regime, but none of them, there was not a clear consensus on what the replacement regime should be, whether that's Raza Pahlavi or an international group, or maybe less hardline clerical figures. So even the diaspora within Iran and within the country, um, they were still splintered on what they wanted the future to look like as well. So even if you had a huge chunk of the population against the regime, there wasn't a clear takeover group. And back to my point about the uranium buried under the rubble in Isfahan, if the U.S. doesn't know who's going to be able to access that, then that's a security, at least in Washington's POV, that's going to be a security risk um, as well. So there wasn't really what you needed there for the population to uprise and remove figures within the IRGC and conquer government buildings. That simply hasn't happened in Iran. Sam says, Remember, we also need an evil Iran in the Middle East to have leverage over Middle Eastern countries to get oil dollar trade going. Okay, yeah, Edward, we got to be careful about violence. Yeah, we don't tolerate violence on the channel. We can be against people. I allow everybody of all political views to be on my channel. I don't block people just for disagreeing with them, but we cannot have violence and threats against public officials on the um, channel here. Dirty Money says if the centrifuges are destroyed, as the Department of War claims, it'll take at least 15 years to rebuild. Primal Scream says, "Hey Aulden, this wasn't a problem for the United States until Netanyahu told Trump to attack. What did I get wrong? If you were still shilling for this regime, it actually is a terrible thing." And then add, "Sorry Aulden, you seem like a nice guy, but what? I don't even know what I said that was wrong." Yeah, I think you're a little confused right now. Dirty Money says, "I wanted to know more about the supposed billions to rebuild Iran." Yeah, we saw JD Vance on the Sunday morning talk shows this weekend. He had that. I'm not sure if it was a slip up or whatever it was, but he did mention something about 300 billion and either unfrozen assets that would go towards the regime or um, something of that nature. And I think that made a lot of people a little concerned um, or uncertain about what's actually happening. Yeah, so I think that's a fair question for sure. Yeah, they'll definitely have to clear that up. Um, KG says, Alden Trump disappointed me a lot. I didn't want to lie. As a Canadian citizen, I love Trump, but this Iranian deal is bad for your country. Oh yeah, as of right now, there's really, um, yeah, we don't know how this really is any different than where we were 10 years ago. We've been talking with Iran about the nuclear program for decades. It's not like we just started talking about this recently. It's been the sticking points for years and years now. So no, I think, and I know all the details haven't been released and nothing's been maybe cemented or implemented yet, but the immediate takeaway has to be confused. Mine was confusion. Um, Colonel says Israel's in our country. That's the only people it's bad for. Yeah, because Israel, they want regime change. They wanted it to, um, yeah, they brought the United States into the war. Um, they urged us to launch the regime decapitation strikes on February 28th. They urged us to bomb the nuclear facilities last June, um, whether it was Qasem Soleimani in 2020 or bombing the Houthis all of the spring of 2025. Whatever it is, we've been slowly and systematically sucked into the conflict over the last several years directly. The moment that the JCPOA was torn up, basically, it's been leading to this conflict since the 28th. So this is just the next chapter in um, the war or the long-term conflict, whatever you want to call it. Swiss says, "Hey guys, yes, and the regime, you need boots on the ground. IRGC is in all parts of Iran. KG Maloney says, "What's good, Aulden?" Hey, dude. Thanks for joining the stream. Bing says, "Happy birthday. Don't get any older. Trust me. Enjoy your youth." Yeah, man, we're going to try. Turn 27 today. So, yeah, we're back at the... Yeah, we're just going to be kind of walking back and forth between the Capitol and the Senate side of things. House side's closed. They're all gone for Juneteenth. So we're dealing with the Senate today. Those are going to be our people. And I think we have a senator speaking with the school group. So we're going to, yeah, I think we have our first member today. Suriana says, around September, October, Iran. Good morning, Suryanish. Wilkinson says, sound like we had money tied up and they were going to release it. Patrick says, hi from Denmark. Trump should back away from Greenland before he faces NATO and alienates the U.S. from the European Union. Thank you for the paintbrush gift. I appreciate you. Very kind of you, Zilski. Here, let's go. Damon says Shia Islam versus Sunni Islam. The West has no idea what they're talking about or getting themselves involved in. They never have in the Middle East. Their ignorance of the Middle East is amazingly deep. Happy birthday, all. Thank you, Damon. Yeah, very good point, Damon. It is the divide between Shiite and Sunni Muslims goes back thousands of, for a very long time. Captain says the war in Iran was a punitive action. That's how you have to deal with Muslim aggression. You bomb them. Suryanish says we have to accept we didn't have the cards. Iran holds them with the Strait of Hormuz. Two options left: continue the war or come out of the mess. Trump takes Qatari money and chose the second option. Rebecca Alexander says, happy birthday, Aulden. Thank you, Rebecca. Hope you're doing well in Alaska. Yeah, KG Sode, we're on the Senate side. Bing says Mexico is going to pay to rebuild Iran. Okay, we don't have the senator out here. We have like the leader of the chaperone for the school group. So we're still going to be looking for our first member today. Patrick says exactly, if we don't start wars, just blindly follow the United States. Swiss says, really happy birthday, my man. Wish you all the best. Stay healthy and keep doing what you do. Congrats. Thank you, Swiss Mike. Very kind message to send that. Yep, back on the Senate side. And we may have to go inside a little bit, but it is just kind of fun chatting with you guys as well. I really, really enjoy the social side of it, getting to know you guys a little better. But yeah, we were at the Knoxville airport on Sunday night. So here's what happened this weekend. Got to the Knoxville airport around noon on Sunday, and we were supposed to, let me record that. Supposed to get on the flight at 6, supposed to leave by 6:30 or whatever. And then it turned to 7, then it turned to 8 o'clock, then 9 o'clock. And then finally, there was supposed to leave at midnight because of the UFC fight. They closed the airway, so the plane wasn't able to get to Knoxville from DC. But around 11 o'clock, the plane supposed to come to Knoxville had taken off. Yeah, it had finally taken off. I'm like, okay, we may be able to get off tonight. and then it just never happened. Ultimately, um, the plane did arrive, but the pilot just didn't want to take us back. So we had to spend the night. Finally, at 11 o'clock that next day, I was able to fly and get back at DC. Get back at DC yesterday. Um, so yeah, we're back normal schedule now. Yeah, just a little reminder. Um, Probably no live tonight. It is election day here in Washington D.C. Voters across um, the district will be voting for mayor and city council today. There will be a new mayor. Incumbent mayor Mariel Bowser is heading for the exits, not seeking a fourth term in office. Will not be running again. There will be several other candidates that are running. Signee Stormtrooper, what's going on, big man? Thank you for joining the stream. Today, are you guys still able to hear and see me? Okay. Is that all working? Okay. I think we're chilling. All right, so we're back. Yeah, we're going to be hanging out around the Senate side today. See if we can catch any members walking at. Yeah, we're in the purple drip today. Had to go purple for the birthday. And we won't have, probably won't have a stream, or at least a normal Capitol Hill stream on um, Friday because of it being the holiday. None of the members are going to be here. There's not going to be much going on. So, but Butter says Trump has absolutely no plan, just finding ways to make himself and his cronies wealthier. Colonel says, "Happy Juneteenth, Mud Butters." Yeah, the Congress. Yeah, they're not going to be in this. They're probably going to leave. My guess is that they might leave midday tomorrow, if not very early on Thursday morning. Um, NATO didn't. That's true. That's correct. Dirty money. Got a couple gardeners and landscapers, landscaping personnel keeping the Capitol looking pretty. Looks like we got a little Yeah, looks like we got uh, a little argument breaking out in the chat. That's what we like to see. Speaking of debating, you guys really enjoy debating each other here on the YouTube live streams, you guys should join my channel's Discord. There's now 40 of us in there. Going to be approaching 45 here soon. Would definitely encourage you guys to join the Discord and there. That way, we send memes, breaking news, all that good stuff, and there to keep you guys informed. You guys always know when I'm about to go live because I will notify everybody right before, so you guys have behind the scenes access. Think of it like that way. Yeah, and the Colonel just put the Discord link in the chat for all parties interested. Would highly encourage you to do that. Let's go over here. So we are in, yeah, we're going to just be kind of chilling around the Senate today, see if we run into any members. And we know the Senate is in session today. Um, but let's go back to, so you guys have any like questions for me in regards to um, the Iran, yeah, the peace agreement just reached with Iran. Um, I'm happy to take any questions on it. I think the colonel, yeah, the colonel's not from DC. Oh, it is beautiful, isn't it, KG? Yeah, I love it. Like here it, yeah, we are like in the halls of power, in the halls of Congress for real. Doing this on live stream on YouTube, dude. Damn. Let's see what Patrick said. I believe first time I've seen Patrick on the stream today. Says Patrick says, "Oh no, let's not forget your attempted purge on native Indians. How did that work out for you? Cluster found out the hard way because of the same arrogance Americans showed towards the enemy." Oh yeah, Swiss Mike. Yeah, so yesterday we see these reports um, of this B-2 bomber crashing out in California. I believe uh, feared 8 people deceased. Um, very sad. Yeah, very unfortunate. Um, sad event there in California yesterday, for sure. Yeah, man, not very good. Um, very sad. Yeah, they're still doing so much renovation and construction. Yeah, that's right, Colonel. Yeah, sadly, all passed away. Um, Sam says, so you understand words. Rubio will be busy in Cuba now. Hey, yeah, Cuba might be the next play. Um, the admin, they're going to have to spend the next couple of months or weeks, I'd say, really, um, trying to signal that we have achieved our strategic objectives within the Islamic Republic of Iran. Yeah, I got squirrels fighting up here. Um, that the objectives were complete and reached. I'm here. Let's get a question for today. All right. So yeah, let's get the little poll for today. We have a poll on the screen. Definitely cast your vote. We'll put it in the corner here, so it's out of the way when the camera is facing this way. Yeah, the question is today, was the United States successful in Iran? So there's definitely going to be lots of mixed opinions today on the topic. Mm. Yeah, already 7 of you guys voted. It's look like it's going to be about split 50-50, honestly. I think a lot of it will be determined on what this MOU, the text, like the actual text, and um, what, if any, concessions Iran gave up. Um, because basically, as I said earlier, the biggest thing that it's looking like is what's coming up with this is that Iran will agree to reopen the strait, uh, with maybe the promise that in the future they will come to the table to talk about the nuclear program. That's really it right now. Um, because the thing is, what we have to remember and think about Iran is that they will just simply never flat out surrender. Um, Look at how far they've already gone. They've lost their supreme leader. They've lost so much top civilian leadership in the country, but the regime has not folded. Um, there was no mass uprising that would have caused regime change that maybe Israel and the United States were hoping for. So that's kind of where we are sitting right now. To be honest with you, we're just going to have to wait and see what they say. Well, Israel, they definitely want regime change, um, which I know publicly Trump announced he wanted regime change. So we attacked them. Um, but whether the U.S. needs regime change is a whole different question, I think. Because do you expect, after all of this, do you just expect Iran to kind of roll over and just start conceding everything? Or, yeah, what's the long term play, you guys think? Bing says it's all lip service. Wake me up in November. Siamese Stormtrooper says, at Patrick, because you believe them, they tell you they aren't, even when you can visibly see them shaking. Seems says short term Israel lobby now going to pound at GOP in November. Yeah, they're probably not happy. Just look at what people like Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro have been saying about this the last 48 hours. Um, Mark Levin has suggested that even though the war wasn't started without Congress, is that Congress is needed to ratify it in a treaty. This time, just look, they're panicking right now. Um, which obviously Mark Levin, he's a mouthpiece for the Netanyahu regime. Obviously, um, he clearly cares more about Israel than the United States of America. Obviously, Swiss says European countries start to make deals with China instead of USA, all because of Trump's tariffs. And tariffs are good if you know how to use it. Sam says, look at Israeli Senator Lindsey Graham is angry with the deal as well. Yeah, he'll be another one. I'm interested in hearing what Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton has to say about the deal. As well, and some of these more stronger backers of Israel in the Congress. Ted Cruz, for example, let's see what he has to say. Everybody, yeah, we are here at the U.S. Capitol this morning. We're chilling out. We'll be here for a little bit, hanging out with you guys. KG says there are trolls in here. Colonel says Randy Fine was seen stress eating after the deal was announced. Yeah, that's I'm sure he'll be another um, he'll be another interesting person to kind of keep track of and see what they have to say. We're going to chill for a sec. Sam says anyone with APAC money is not happy. Opposing strongly would lead Trump's wrath now on them. Yeah, it seems like Trump in particular, uh, I think he is just pissed about the entire thing because I bet he thinks that people are going to remember his second term as just for this Iran stuff and Israel's alleged influence over him. I think he's starting to get sick and tired of it. It's been a year and a half now of constant, why are you doing this? Why are you hiding the Epstein files? Um, so I think he wants a change from that. Um, all right, Swiss, thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes, dude. Appreciate you, man. Patrick says, we came home and got educated. Now remember, economic power makes you a superpower in the 22nd century. Not as not military strength. Let that sink in. China has both. Chinese stormtrooper says Trump controls the party more than Israel, and they have conflicting interests. Yet Dems will keep saying Bibi owns Trump. Same says my prediction: Trump will become lame duck after November election. W3149 says he was lied to the finance sector, pushed for the war, and we carried the bulk of the load. Colonel says Pope Donald is smart. He's in JFK territory for define them. And Grumaloney, yuck. Grumaloney, you're nasty, dude. Grumaloney says, glory to China. Boo. Chinese Stormtrooper says, here, let's approve this guy. Um, yeah. Same says, I hope we would have Massey instead of Trump at this moment. Yeah, Massey, he's definitely against the war and regime change wars in the Middle East. Hi, everybody, for just now joining the stream. Make sure to leave the video a like, hit that subscribe button as well. Couple of you guys have pointed out today is my birthday. So would love, for a birthday gift, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Um, that's a great way which you can support. Oop, I think there we go. Sorry about that. Everybody had to refresh the YouTube real quick. Sam says Netanyahu himself going to lose his election and going to jail as well. You might not know what's happening in Israeli politics. Yeah, and I think before the October 7th, they were not particularly thrilled with him either. So, yeah, we're still looking for members for senators. There's not as many senators. Obviously, there are House members, and the House is gone for Juneteenth this week. So it is only senators that are in town today. All right, so 13 of you guys have voted. Okay, okay. Uh, and now it's grown to where the consensus is that the U.S. was not successful in Iran. Yes, here, I'll show you guys the building again. Just a beautiful day as well. It's not particularly hot. Yeah, it's not very humid. It's not super hot either. A pretty solid day of weather, honestly. Yeah, like make a prototype of the U.S. Capitol for your house. Erdogan says, "My leader, hello, sir. What is going on?" Big man, thanks for joining our stream. Beta says, "Hey, man, turned 27. Happy birthday." Thank you, Beta. You're very kind, dude. Thank you for being one of my strongest uh, and most consistent supporters on the stream. BW3149 says there was no one single objective in Iran. That's media BS. What do you think the other objectives were, BW? Or maybe what's the one that you think people believe is to be the singular objective, and what's the other objectives that you're thinking that could have been or were on the table? BW says, I can speak from close experience. Um, there were 15 objectives for Iran, so we asking as a whole or to one objective. Yeah, I think there were definitely several um, objectives. I think they, like, obviously, the proxy network uh, is disputed. The nuclear program, the ballistic missile program, their drones, their drone capability, um, the regime leadership, whether that's the supreme leader or other Revolutionary Guard top leadership personnel, personnel from the Besiege, the Revolutionary Guard, the standard Iranian military. They have a lot of cards to play. The shipping access in the Strait of Hormuz as well. That's something that was on the table. Can't walk out of the house because with basketball shorts unless I'm wearing a tank top. Oh, do a fit check. Okay, here we'll do a little birthday fit check here, right outside Russell Senate office building. Yeah, let's get across the street first. There's Bill Cassidy in that car. Okay. All right, so we got the purple jacket, purple tie, shirt, and then we got the purple shoes, purple socks, got the shorts as well. So got the whole purple fit on today. Had to do it for the birthday, and there won't be a Purple Friday this week because of Juneteenth. There's going to be nobody here on the hill, so it's good to do Purple Friday for birthday. Uh, Purple birthday is what we'll call it today. Um, but yeah, actually, what's really hilarious is that all of my coworkers at my day job, they all wore shorts with their suits, and even my female counterparts, had basketball shorts on this morning. So that was a lot of fun. That kind of that tickled me. Worked with a great group of patriots who want to help our country, and also like have a little fun along the way. They definitely thought, it was a little new to them. I'm not sure how they liked it. They've probably gone to change a little bit, but they've probably changed back into their normal wardrobes. But very funny while it lasted. Chisaki says America first or Israel first? America first, baby. 1000%, 24/7, 365. Under Chang 771 says pants greater than shorts. Maybe not in this June heat. I'm not sure, Mr. Andre Chang 771. We may have to disagree there. 420 says I'm back. Are you close to the reflection pool? We're not going to be able to make the reflection pool. That's a good mile and a half away from here. And we want to stay close to the Capitol today because that's where the senators are going to be. We may have to, haven't seen many. We saw John Thune this morning. We weren't able to get to him in time, but we did see him outside. G Saki says thumbs up. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, we love America on this channel. And we want what's best for the country and our people every time. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you leave video a like and hit that subscribe button. Additionally, we have our Discord. We'd love you guys to join our Discord. There's about 40 of us in there. We're sending memes, debating, all that good stuff, sending breaking news updates. And if you guys join, you guys are the first people that know when I'm going live because I will notify everybody in the chat right before I go live, send you a push notification. So yeah, the Colonel just put the link in the chat. So you guys definitely click that link, get in there and join the fun. Beta says this will be first time where we use force and failed and regime change. Something are changing. Yeah, like I think at least as of this moment, if there is this, it was not regime change. I could have lost it. Okay, I'm good. But yeah, there's just a reality. Here, let's go up to BW. He had a couple other messages I haven't read yet. Second objective was to weaken the military. When we destroyed a few oil drills and ships back in the 80s, it took around 2 decades to rebuild. How long do you think it would take this time? There's a final report that discusses an order that above all there is to be no Chinese ships uncovered in the strait. The exact order and prove we can shut their shipping down. William says, not going to repeat that, but if that's you, William, celebrate how you want. Stormtrooper at Beta, LOO, two generations of leaders dead. The whole structure of the regime has changed now, and it's barreling towards collapse, even with a deal. Eli says, happy birthday, Mr. President. Thank you, Eli. Dude, thank you for being one of my early supporters. You've been around. Yeah, Eli, you were one of my first 100 subscribers, I think. Now we're at over 1,200. No, excuse me, we're at over 1,120. So a little over 1,120. So yeah, man, you've been here a long time, Eli. One of the OGs. So appreciate you, man. Yeah, appreciate all of you guys that have been longtime supporters of the show, even if you're just brand new as well. All of you are crucially important to helping build our movement and what we want to see politically happen in our country. Oops. I think I got in trouble there. David says, empower the Iranian people to take their country back from the regime. I think that was attempted back in January. It's just I don't think people. We've talked about Iran a lot on the show before, and the regime is meant to, is designed to survive, not thrive. That's a common phrase I've been using. They have so many layers. Even if you take out the first, like, even when the supreme leader and his class of people are gone, then the second group of people can be gone, all the way down to 10th, 11th, 12th group of people, because this is for their survival. And the thing is, when it comes to nuclear, which is the thing that's confusing me the most, is that I don't see how Iran, or in terms of regime survival tactics, why Iran would ever surrender the nuclear capability. That's when Gaddafi did it. A couple years later, there was a pipe shoved up his anus. When Saddam didn't have the program or ended his or whatever, he was hung later. So, in terms of just regime survival, they can never give up the nuclear program. They just can't. They will always need it as a hedge to hedge their bets and build one if need be. Um, let's see. Stay tuned. Hey, what's going on? Stay tuned. Thanks for joining the stream today. Well, we discussed this earlier on in the stream. Fred team says happy birthday. Thank you, Fred, for the birthday wishes. Everybody, thank you all for your kind comments and words today. Ray Blue says another great, beautiful day on the hill. It is very nice day today. We're here right outside of the Hart Building. Got a lady on a couple people on smoke breaks over here. Um, yeah, you're right outside of the Hart Building. Here, they just installed all these new security perimeters. Yeah, Eli, you're correct. The regime officials are willing, if not expecting, that at some point that they will be assassinated or die. It's a strong. Yeah, you're right. It's rooted in Islam. A theocracy. It's an Islamic republic. So they have this cultural identity that is key to them. Um, and yeah, just expecting they're going to roll over is probably just simply not going to happen. Let's see. But yeah, Ray, it is a great day. David says hunger can overcome fear for the Iranian people. Stay tuned says Alden, can you ask about UFOs? And there be the talk of the town next week or so. And it's a different question because I think. Chinese at Duke. Let's go to what Duke, excuse me, what Duke said. Duke of New York said he's not happy with Netanyahu, and then Trump got back a kiss in his rear end. Is what Duke is kind of pretty much saying. Um, yeah, this is probably the most uh, frustrated I think you've seen the president publicly, at least about this. Um, because I said earlier, I think the president's starting to get worried about what people will picture his legacy being on the second term. Um, for a year and a half now, it's been is yeah. Everybody's been saying, why is Donald Trump doing all this stuff with Israel? And I think the president would prefer to change that as he nears the second half of his second term. Remember, guys, we're in June of 2026. Midterms are just like you have rest of June, July, August, September, and October. So 4.5, 5 months away. So midterms will be here before he knows it and that we know it. Um, and right now, politically, he probably just thought, okay, this war is too unpopular. We got to get back to some more domestic policies. Let's wrap things up. And obviously, Bibi doesn't want things to wrap up, though. So, yep, shirt is tucked in, Bing. Yeah, so I just tuck it in with the gym shorts. Ooh. All right, guys, we got John Fetterman right here. I'll try to get back to you. Hey, Senator Fetterman, I like your shorts, sir. You've inspired me.
Like, I need
Yeah.
I need that look in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I know that.
Oh, hey, Senator, how do you feel about the peace deal with Iran from President Trump?
Wait, before. So, what's this?
Because that's like
You're good.
Who are you with?
Myself. I just have my own YouTube page.
So what, yeah.
Yeah, so Senator Fetterman, what do you feel about the peace agreement announced by President Trump with Iran?
Well, we haven't seen it yet, so I don't have any strong opinions.
Okay, definitely. Thank you, Senator. Appreciate you. There we go, man. Yeah, so that was Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. You guys heard it here live. An interview with, yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy one. Holy cow. That was exciting. Were you guys able to see that one and hear it okay? Was the sound better as well? Yeah. But yeah, that's big. Yeah, that's a big time because we know Senator Fetterman is one of the more outspoken um, outspoken members in the Congress about the war in Iran. So, one of the only Democrats that has consistently voted with Republicans against like war powers resolution and restricting the president's abilities or capabilities in the war. Um, okay, great. Yeah, glad the sound was better for that interview, and everything was clicking there. So yeah, that's awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah. Eli said, yeah, purple is for the birthday. And we won't have a typical Purple Friday this week because of it being Juneteenth. We probably won't be live at the Hill. We may try to go live somewhere, um, but probably not the Hill. There's not going to be a whole lot going on here today, or on Friday. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was a really cool one. Um, and that's why you just kind of got to walk around and yeah, that's the name of the game. Just walk around, and eventually you'll start popping into a few of these senators and congressmen. It just takes time. Yeah, thrilled that you guys were with me on that one, though. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I got a birthday interview from John Fetterman, so. Everybody, yeah, make sure. All right, hey everybody. Now that we kind of reset for a second, make sure to leave the video a like. Also, hit that subscribe button as well. You just heard Senator John Fetterman from Pennsylvania on the stream talk about the peace agreement about the war in Iran between Trump and Iran. Eli says at Siamese, I'm talking about Islam as the regime's guidelines. Muslim or not, you must follow as a citizen. Yeah, it is a theocracy. Good point, Eli. Very true. Somebody's in there. Yeah, so Murkowski. You got Lisa Murkowski from Alaska over there. or not. She's not here physically today, but let's get across the street. Yeah, let's have a seat somewhere. Let's kind of re yeah, kind of get resettled. Let's get the microphone back on so I don't have to carry it for you guys. Yeah, a little crystal ball. Excuse me. Yeah. Here, we're going to sit down here for a second. Thank you, Ray Blue. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, honestly, everything's organic. Um, oh, yeah, guys. Thank you all for your super chats. This helped us purchase these little microphones now, so audio should be a lot better when we're talking to members, especially if it's a windy day. We got a lot of great interviews last week, but some of them, like the one with Pete Aguilar, um, the audio just would not pick up his words. So essentially, the interview was worthless. Yeah, you couldn't hear anything he was saying. So um, having these now, thank you all for your super chats. Um, yeah, you guys already helped improve the channel. I promised you guys uh, originally that all money, all super chats, all ad revenue, um, all financial support to the show would go back right into equipment for the show, and I'm honoring that commitment to you guys. So thank you all very much for the support, man. So thank you so much. Okay, Sam says, Aulden, you may not be able to comment on this, but I believe Qatari money is playing a big role in Trump's decision, as Israel money does for so long. Yeah, maybe it's the highest bidder wins. No, like we do. Yeah, remember he did get that jet from Qatar, um, or from Qatar, excuse me, a little while back. So there's definitely some play there. USS Liberty, thank you for joining the stream. He says, ban high fructose corn syrup in America. No more poison in our food. Yeah, we gotta make America healthy again. I agree, USS Liberty. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. Appreciate you being here. We're live on Capitol Hill. We just spoke with Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania a couple minutes ago. I'm asking him about the peace deal between the U.S. and Iran. Yeah, we're going to head back to the Capitol here. We'll hang out around the Senate side at the Capitol. Give us a little different view, give us a little different angle of what's going on. Andrew says, you mean the bullshit deal? What's, Andrew, would you say you're not supportive of it? Or like, are you upset that there is a deal? Or do you think the deal is not good for the United States? Or are you opposed to any deal? What's your take on it? Sam says, breaking. U.S. to pull 20% of remaining fleet from Ben Gurion Airport after U.S. Iran deal. Daughtery 1895 says, Iran cannot be trusted, period. Andrew says, Iran is only playing us. So a couple people are against the deal, which about now 35 of you guys have voted in the poll today, and 69% of you guys believe that the United States was not successful in its military operations within the Islamic Republic of Iran. And 31 of you guys believe so, yes. Yeah, so they haven't released many key details from the MOU. So we don't really know exactly what is going on. Exactly. We have heard, though, we believe a virtual, it was signed virtually between Iran and the United States on Sunday. I saw that this morning. So something has been signed, but we don't really know what it exactly is. We heard from the Pakistani Prime Minister in his tweet that in, I believe, Geneva, Switzerland, they are expecting to um, physically sign the MOU in person on Friday, on Juneteenth. Yeah. So on Juneteenth, whether it's J.D. Vance or the president or other high ranking admin administration personnel will be in Geneva um, signing the deal. Andrew says the USA will never be safe. BW says General Mad Dog Mattis during Trump's first term said, and I quote, the only way to win a war post Iraq is to beat your opponent into submission before the people find out. Yeah, and at least as of right now, the regime has held on. Let's go to some other comments. Sam says, Trump says Lebanon has been treated the worst of any country. Expect Epstein files leak in coming weeks of signing the deal. And breaking news, without the U.S., there would be no Israel. Trump slams Netanyahu's vicious attack on Lebanon. Yeah, there's Senator Katie Britt of Alabama just waved to me in her little she's going away in her little Chevy Tahoe. Yeah, man, I'm starting to get noticed. We are starting to get noticed. Our political movement, the mass awakening is happening on Capitol Hill. Guess what? We're never going to surrender, ever. I think you got another senator pulling out here. Can't tell. It looks like, it seems like some votes have just ended on the Senate side, and maybe they're going to their lunches or going home or whatever it is. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I got distracted. Let's get back to some of the comments. The Trump, Sam says the Trump BB breakup is official now. Aulden. Dude, who would have ever thought? Yeah. Like, honestly, I think the world, it has, in the last 2.5, 3 years, the world has just completely geopolitically turned against Israel. I just don't see really any other explanation. I don't think Iran has gotten popular per se, or their proxies. Yeah, I'm sure no one is a fan of the terrorism uh, around the region or the globe at all. I just think people are getting a little sick of it. Israeli side. Sam says, breaking news, quote, I'll have to talk to Lindsey. He'll be in big trouble, end quote. Trump jokes when told that Lindsey Graham is skeptical on his Iran deal. Yeah, because now the admirals are against Trump. The ones that are even more aggression, more pro-Israeli. Andrew says you can't expect to have drone done much damage to the missile sites. Iran is a big country. Yeah, it's a pretty big country. It's large. The ballistic missiles are cheap for Iran. They can move them easy if need be. It's a huge country. You can't get every single missile launch site or platform. Yeah, Bob made it back. Yeah, we basically spent a whole day in the Knoxville airport. Yeah, we did a live stream. Yeah, that was a fun live stream though. Typically, um, yeah, we're live streaming on the hill, but it was fun to live stream in the airport that one day. So Terry Terry says we see things differently. The U.S. would like peace. There may be peace for a time, but ultimately want to uh, bring in their Mahdi or Antichrist, and Ezekiel 38 must still play out. BW says, I've had people ask while I was a guest on a channel, how did we take over whole cities in Iraq, but we can't get ships through the Strait of Hormuz? Short version, media wasn't allowed uh, too close. Seems it's breaking. U.S. has nothing to do with Ukraine. We sell weapons to them, not even giving it to them. It has no impact on us. Eli says, at Terry, it's just a matter of time. Scripture must be fulfilled. Andrew says, so how can T? BW says, I know it makes me sound anti-media or anti-First Amendment, but I'm not in deadly serious. Well, yeah, like one of the key one of the key sticking points with this particular conflict really seemed to be the Strait of Hormuz being shut down. That's a global uh, supply route. A lot of the world depends on that oil, um, and just simple supply and demand kicked in. There was less oil, and the demand remained the same, so the uh, price of oil went up. Gas has gone up. I'm sure um, you've probably felt that one way or another. For example, I don't have a car in DC, but um, at least you still feel the pain because everything has to be transported on trucks and trains and other um, stuff that requires oil and natural resources. So um, yeah, it's still a concern for sure, even for people without cars. Fred's lady says, enjoy your day today. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's fun being with you guys on my birthday. Definitely want to spend some time with you guys. Hello, birthday recap. My coworkers all came in to work. This for my day job. All came in to work this morning wearing gym shorts with their fit. So that was awesome to see. Yeah, I was tickled by that. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, great people I work with. A lot of fun. And then now we've talked to Senator Yeah, we got a quick little interview with John Fetterman on the stream a couple minutes ago. So that's exciting. And now I'm just kind of walking around. We're going to see if there's any more senators that are going to be out and about walking around. We'll stay on a little bit longer today on the stream. I did see Senator Sheehy of Montana a couple minutes ago, but he was on the phone with some of his staff. So if they're, I don't want to bother them like that. Eli says, Terry, join Awoken's Discord and ask at W, are you in the Discord? Yeah, you guys gotta get in the Discord. There's 40 of us in there now. It's a ton of fun. We're in there chatting it up, having a good time. So we'd love to have you in there as well. Sam says, hang on. Carl says, why do we even have Congress? We have a king. Trump owns you. Andrew says, Iran planned for this for years. And that's why they were still dropping missiles on Israel and U.S. bases in the Middle East. Right, yeah. Iran, like they have, you can go to about 3 or 4 months ago now. There's a 45 or maybe 45-minute long video of when on one of my desktop shows, I basically just went into 40 minutes explaining the depth of Iran's regime in terms of their regime survival strategy and tactics. And yeah, this confrontation war was a huge threat to their survival, as it's the biggest test they've had in 47 years since the regime took power. Um, this only the second time in the history of the regime that they've had to have a successor to the supreme leader. When Ruhollah Khomeini died in '89, and then when Khamenei was assassinated back in February. So they haven't had to do that very often. Um, so there's definitely, they definitely were prepared. That's correct. Yeah, it is. It's Persia. Yeah, that's Persian civilization. Yeah, Persia, the civilization, it was on the line, and they're still weak, right? It's not like, okay, war's over, they get to go back to full strength. It's going to take them time to rebuild what has happened. Um, yeah, all of the damage done to their nuclear facilities, missile launch platforms, drone production facilities. But the key sticking point is, even though a lot of it has been destroyed, Iran, it's a mega country. It's a huge country with 92 some odd million people reside within the Islamic Republic of Iran. And um, they're just not going to roll over. Here we are. Here's the Dirksen. Yeah, you got Dirksen and Russell. We're going to cut through. Let's cut through here. We've got a little Senate shuttle there. Got a guy on a bike. What else we got going on? Just a little bit of everything. Prototype Gaming 1268 says, I honestly hope they can't rebuild. Terrorism is bad. Is this guy an Iran sympathizer? Not me, no. I just provide, done a lot of research into their history and just have been able to understand their actions, their particularly in terms of regime survival. Um, you should go back to some of my older live streams. We covered the war every day for like the first 40 days. That was our topic for like a month. I think everyone just got so sick of Iran. We haven't, yeah, we didn't, we kind of started breaking up updates about the war after the first month or so. Um, hey, Bear, what's going on, dude? Thanks for joining the stream today. Always lovely having you. What's going on, Will? What's up, brother? Yes, sir. You know it. Yeah, man, just more and more people. Yeah, just had a random guy, or I shouldn't say random guy, that's Buddy Will, but just kind of have people randomly shouting my name now across Capitol Hill. Knowing who I am, they know I'm the guy in the purple that is talking to members of Congress, asking them about important details and information, important questions. So, yeah, it's easy to stand out when you're in all purple. I will say that. Sam says, bro, read what Israel's national security minister said above where. Wait, okay. All right, Sam. Yeah, now I see your comment. Okay. From Sam, breaking news. Trump's agreement does not bind us. Israel is not subordinate to the United States. We are an independent and sovereign state. We are not partners to the agreement that does not ensure our security, said Israel's national security minister. Well, what I'd say back at him is that um, we fund your country, dude. So um, if you don't want our military support and our funds and our aid, then see how long you can be a sovereign country without us. That's what I'd say to them. So good luck. Yeah, if you want to keep going, good luck. Um, I think Trump has just had enough of it. That's what Trump's pretty much trying to tell them, I think. Biggest threat to the intelligence community? Maybe hacking or other intelligence agencies spying on each other. Colonel says, Iran, you got to do your thing. We won't stop you anymore. BW139 says, oh, yeah, Israel is the biggest threat, BW says. Wow. Yeah, that's definitely concerning, bro. Well, I know they spy on us. Yeah. Runner 360 says, so are we tired of winning yet? Surrendering to Iran, paying billions to them? Bear says the war will resume after midterms, I bet. Yeah, you can definitely tell the admin has started to grow concerned about the political opportunities, I think, um, or the political risks that were starting to emerge from this. Um, and that yeah, it could just be people are just not supportive of the war in general, or whether it's gas prices, or maybe getting sucked into the war for many more months or an extended period of time, could all be a factor. Bro, I just personally think we should stay out of it. I understand with Iran it was required. I honestly feel like Islamic law and the Quran need to go. And BW says facts first warning you get is stay away from the Israelis, period. Even your nice neighbor who goes to temple. Rum Runner says prototype gaming, all religious laws and governments need to go. Yeah, remember Iran is a theocracy. The really planet Earth's only theocracy. Tired of holding that for so long. Yeah, it is a pretty cool day. It's not as hot. Yeah, very thankful. I remember last year on my birthday it was a lot hotter. So. Yeah, 44 of you guys have voted in the poll. Now it's up at 71% of you guys feel like the war, the U.S. involvement in the war in Iran was not successful. Yeah, I think that would be a good question to ask the senators. That like, what would success look like? Yeah, what would success in Iran would have looked like? Maybe like, or do they view what has just happened to be a success? But hey, everybody, just going to stop for a second. If you're new to the live stream, new to the channel, make sure leave the video a like and hit that subscribe button as well. Leave me a super chat. Ask me a tough question, or if there's a question that you want me to ask members of Congress, super chat me that question and we will try to get answers for you. Additionally, please feel free to join our channel's Discord. There's about 40 of us in there. We're sending memes and debating politics all day in there. And once again, no matter what your personal beliefs are, I welcome you to my channel and my movement and my Discord, because I'm a free speech absolutist, and I think debating people is fun about politics, especially when both sides are mature and whatnot. All right, guys, we got Senator Schmidt of Missouri heading our way. Hey, Senator Schmidt, good catch in the baseball game.
Buddy.
Yeah.
I like that suit.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. There we go. Just had a quick little one there. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen, you guys should go to Senator Schmidt's Instagram or his Twitter or something and go to his recent videos. He made a catch during the congressional baseball game last week that got number 5 on the SportsCenter top 10. Not even playing. Competing with pro athletes. You have Senator Eric Schmidt of Missouri right there. Competing with professional athletes. The senator from Missouri, the junior senator from Missouri, having been elected in 2022, I believe. The former attorney general of the state of Missouri, before coming to Congress. So yeah, you have like senators. Yeah, they'll come up through the. Whoa, you got an eyebrow up here today. Holy cow, man! That's pretty cool. Yeah, they closed off like the walking for like patrons. They closed off walking on the Senate side while we were on the stream a couple minutes ago. Is this very recent or like? I did it for yeah. Sam says, breaking news, Modi, I'm delighted, or Modi, um, I'm delighted to see Trump and Netanyahu clashing over Iran and Trump criticizing Israel, but hopeful. Um, BW says, I know cause I received that warning when I switched from Article 10 to Article 50 while in the military. Those who know. Not you says, what we got going on today. We're here outside of the Senate. We've talked to a couple senators briefly today. Senator Eric Schmidt of Missouri, we congratulated him on his baseball catch in the congressional baseball game last week. And Senator John Fetterman, we asked him briefly about the peace deal in Iran. Here, we're going to do one more lap around the Senate, then we're probably going to head. I'll probably head back to my day job. Yeah, we had a little later start today on the stream.
Don't ask us about today.
Yeah, yeah.
Not you says, I'm a LMAO. Did you catch the chick that took a picture of Trump when he was sleeping? Didn't get that. No, not you. You should join my channel's Discord so you can post that picture in there. And we got to get one of you guys that's not in the Discord into the Discord for my birthday. Yeah, let's get one. Let's get one more of you guys there. Yeah, that would be an amazing gift. Yeah, the Colonel just put the link in there, so it should be up easy. Oh, hey, Ed Galrine, how are you doing, sir? Congratulations on your victory, sir. Yep. Yeah, so that's Congressman-elect Ed Galrine of Kentucky, who unfortunately beat Thomas Massey, our favorite our favorite member of Congress. Um, yeah, I don't think that's probably the most he's ever done for an interview, honestly. He didn't debate. He didn't really say anything during the debate or during the campaign. So, all right. Hey, guys, we have everyone leave that so we have a super chat from Fred TM. Says, come on, Awoken community, let's buy this man some birthday drinks. Yeah, guys, yeah, definitely got to get me in a good mood and vibe for tonight. So yeah, somebody, yeah, would definitely appreciate that from you guys. And as I've said, your contributions help the channel significantly, help us reach more people, new viewers. It helps us build the community even further. There's now 20. There's now about 40 of us in the Discord. So we're building a very strong foundation in the community. So we definitely appreciate when you guys tailing Fred's super chat, leave me a super chat, ask me a question that you would like me to speak with members of the U.S. Congress about. BW says, what's the for the Discord? Go to the Colonel just put the link in there a couple seconds ago. So scroll up a little bit to the Colonel's Discord link, and you should be able to find it there. There we go. Yep. Yeah. BW. The Colonel just put it right there again, so it should be refreshed in there. Yeah, that was wild running into Ed Galrine in there. I was ran into a couple people today on the hill, so never know who you're going to see. Yeah, there's a ton of people in and out of these buildings every day. Well, Anna, that's what you do on YouTube. You financially support the creators you like, so they can put that money into equipment upgrades like this microphone. So through super chats already, we've been able to get better microphones for the stream. And I do have a day job actually. So I have the streaming and I also have my day job as well. All right. I think BW just got in the Discord, baby. There we go. Nice. Yeah, we're officially up to 40 people on our Discord now. That's excellent. Yeah, once again, want to thank Fred TM for the $25 super chat. The big, the big birthday super chat. It is my birthday, everybody. So definitely got to help out the stream a little bit today. Help out our show. We've been putting a lot of time, a lot of effort. We've been grinding in here, talking to members of Congress recently. We've already talked to two sitting U.S. senators today. Not McDonald's, a little more advanced than McDonald's. Will David says Iran wanting nuclear weapons really doesn't, uh, when you've been saying it for 30 years. BW says, boom, you got the BW in your Discord for your B-Day. Thank you, brother. Yeah, dude, glad to have you in there. Nice to meet you today. Every day we can usually get a couple more people subscribed to the channel. We're well over 1,000 now. Um, so yeah, we are very thrilled with our success um, that the channel has had the past couple of months. We've been putting a lot of hard work into it, and we're starting to get there.
I know these things.
Let's do one more little check, but we'll probably start heading back to the J job here soon. Uh, Colonel says McDonald's franchise owners can make like $1 million a year. Yeah, if you're in the right spot in McDonald's, you can definitely make a living. It's just, yeah, I'm not like standard infantry at McDonald's though.
Come on.
The narrow body.
But you gotta get something out of this too. It's called.
I have a huge student group heading our way. And let's get the. Let's walk around over here. Come in. Hey everybody, if you're just now joining the stream, make sure you leave the um, video a like, hit that subscribe button as well. We are still building the Awoken base every day, and BW just joined our Discord a couple minutes ago, so we have another member in our community's Discord, strengthening that brick by brick all the time as well. So super appreciative of that. Additionally, join Fred. Fred left me a $25 super chat earlier, a little birthday super chat. So gift me a little bit there, help support the show. That would be a wonderful birthday gift. Help us get new equipment, help us with travel expenses for August and October when we are traveling I'm going to be trying to travel in the country a little bit there. Yeah, I might have lost service.
Is it attached somewhere? Yes.
No, we're good. But yeah, we're going to start heading back to the day job here. It has been a fun stream today, though. Nice to see a lot of you guys today. We'll be on the stream, though, a little bit longer. We're going to head by the Supreme Court building here in a little bit. Yeah, once again, Fred for the $25 super chat there a little bit ago. Thank you, Fred. Thank you for all of your donations. Fred is a big supporter of the show, and we definitely want to show our appreciation to him for helping us out significantly. Yeah, lots of discussions about Iran and the war in Iran today. Has been our main topic. That's been our main topic today. Yeah, let's see what these guys are protesting over here. Nicholas Alexander 40 says, "Happy birthday." Thank you very much, Nicholas. Appreciate the birthday wishes. Thank you for joining the stream today. Always wonderful to see you. Thank you for being one of my earliest supporters of the show. Nicholas has been here since the very beginning, well before we had our breakout. Yeah, well before the pages started breaking out. Colonel Harvey says, that's pretty weird, Harvey. I'm just out here exercising free speech and showing people what Washington, D.C. is about. Had no idea that you were against transparency and accountability for the federal government, but different strokes for different folks, you know? All right, everybody, say goodbye to the Capitol building today. We're going to head towards a job now. We'll stop by the fountains in front of the Library of Congress per usual. No, it's just that your guys' trolling is pretty weak and it sucks. So it's not really worth, giving you guys that attention, honestly. Like, usually it's better and it's like actual roasts, but yeah, I'm not a Democrat. Captain Tripp says Michelle Obama is a man. Yeah, that one UFC fighter kind of, he screamed that, took the microphone from Joe Rogan and screamed that during the UFC 250 on Sunday evening. Yeah. Yeah, since my travel was so screwed up on Sunday, I wasn't really able to catch um, any of the UFC 250 or any of the fighting. So, uh, but a lot of my friends here in DC did go, and it really seemed to be an exciting event. Yeah, pretty stellar, exciting event down there. So, Not You says, I don't think the fight went well. I didn't watch it. The Rock told me not to. Was The Rock publicly against it? I didn't see that. That's pretty wild, though. Wonder why he was against it, uh, and for particular. Did he explain why not you? Not You says He said it was a disgrace to wrestling arts and it shouldn't be used as a government attraction or something like that. Randall says, "Sup all." Hey, what's going on, Randall? Dude, wonderful to see you, man. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. We lose connection every time we walk by the Library of Congress building right here. Yeah, Randall. Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, we're talking about the peace agreement that was signed or allegedly virtually signed on Sunday, and that's supposed to be physically signed in person in Geneva, Switzerland on Friday. We know Pakistan has um, was a major mediator between the nations. They helped to really put this together, but we'll see. We'll see. We don't really have much of the details at all for the MOU. That's even what Senator John Fetterman said when we interviewed him a little bit ago. He's not even sure what they have or what's in the deal. So, yeah, they're always blocking the cell signal, man. Captain Trips. 55 of you guys now have voted in the poll today. The poll for if the U.S. Was successful in Iran, and 71% of you guys still view the conflict as being unsuccessful. Yeah, we'll just have to see what is in this MOU. I think that's really the big question. I think people are right to be skeptical of what could be in the agreement or what maybe has been finalized in the agreement already. Hey, what's going on, Paul? Yeah, dude, thanks for joining the stream, brother. Okay, everybody. Well, we're probably going into the stream here in the next minute or two. Um, hi. Yeah, probably going into the stream here in a minute. Let's just chill. Do a little recap of. So tomorrow we'll have Awoken Wednesday. We'll be doing a little recap of election results here in DC. Um, in DC, its primaries are today for mayor and city council and a couple other government, couple of couple of the other government positions. Georgia is having their runoff today for the GOP Senate and governor primary. So those we'll cover those as well tomorrow. Probably not going to go live tonight. Typically we do for election night, but I'll probably be out with buddies, so it may not be the right time. And you are right, Paul. We're going to pin that message. We're not woke, we're awake. That's exactly right. We are awake. We are the Awoken. So, not you. It's called a runoff because no candidates reached 50% of the vote in the first round of voting. So, there were like four major candidates. And in the first round of voting, none of those candidates reached 50%. So, did not get a majority of the vote. That's the important thing to remember there. They didn't get a majority of the vote. So in some states, they have it in their laws um, to where if no candidate gets 50% in the first um, round of voting, then there has to be a runoff. So somebody eventually has to get to that 50% threshold. But in the runoff, there's only two candidates. So unless if it's a legit tie, there will be a winner tonight. And when we're talking about when there's hundreds of thousands of voters, there will not be a tie. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit. Nate says, if you think tearing down statues somehow is better than using them as a forever reminder of what happens when we allow racism to determine human worth, then you are a fool. Uh, Not you says, so surely someone got the most votes, though. Is that not enough? In some states, it's not enough, actually. So a lot of these runoffs come from, um, it was called block voting. So in states like Georgia, um, Louisiana has runoffs, for example. I think Alabama does. A lot of the southern Mississippi, the southern states have primary runoffs for a reason, actually. And it was because um, what would happen is that, let's say there's um, like three candidates running, and one guy was black. Well, the black guy might get 40% of the vote, and that's a plurality of the votes in the primary, but um, the other candidates would get like 30% apiece or something. Well, to prevent block voting from occurring, which is like all the black people would vote for the black candidate, or to prevent black people from even gaining power, um, they would have these runoffs to where um, there would only be a 1v1 for the like runoff election, and the white candidate would win. So that's why a lot of these southern. That's why they're mostly in just these southern states. It's like my home state, Indiana. It's whoever has the most votes in the primary wins. There is no runoff, and that's the same with almost every other state except ones in the South. Yeah, yeah, Randall, you make a good point. Those, I don't really know. I just know the amount of votes Spencer Pratt got was just so um, such by percentage when they were counting those mail-in votes. It was just simply the proportion he was getting was so tiny compared to what he had been receiving prior. Yeah, everyone is welcome here, no matter your political beliefs, as long as you're not advocating. We had to boot somebody earlier today for advocating for political violence, but yeah, as long as you're not advocating for violence, you're more than welcome to hang out on the channel, no matter what your political beliefs are. You can be left wing, you can be right wing. Because I'm a free speech absolutist, so I believe in free speech, and believe everyone's voice should be heard. But okay, everybody. Well, we will. Yeah, I think we're going to wind down the stream here. I got to head in to my day job. It is a little past 1:00. We started a little later, so I stayed on a little bit later with you guys. But thank you all for hanging out with me on my birthday stream. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Fred TM, for the $25 super chat as well. That's going to help out our show and our movement a lot. Your guys' super chats have already helped get new equipment purchased as well. So we got this microphone set from there. We talked to Senator Schmidt of Missouri and Senator Fetterman of Pennsylvania today as well on the stream. But yeah, thank you, not you. Of course, man. But yeah, we're going to get going today. Thank you all for hanging out with me on the stream. And you have been awoken with Aulden. Much love, everybody. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow for Awoken Wednesday. Just a little on the poll, 61 of you guys voted. 70% of you think the U.S. was not successful in the war in Iran, and 30% say yes. So, okay, everybody, I'll see you in the Discord, though. Join